Malaysian passport holders can enter 184 countries without advance visa arrangements, but 7 of them are hiding benefits so good, immigration lawyers don't want you knowing about them. If you've ever dreamed of living abroad without drowning in paperwork, the next 12 minutes will change everything. Because one of these countries lets you stay 90 days, work remotely, and costs 60% less than Kuala Lumpur. But it's number 4 on this list. And here's the crazy part. Most Malaysians have no idea these loopholes even exist. While your friends are spending RM15,000 on complicated visa applications and hiring immigration consultants, you could be boarding a plane tomorrow with nothing but your passport. Let's count down from 7 to 1, least surprising to most life-changing. But wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Number 7. Turkey. This country straddles 2 continents, and Malaysians can waltz in for 90 days without a single visa stamp. Meet Amir, 34 years old, graphic designer based in KL. He was pulling in RM8,000 a month, but rent, food, and the soul-crushing traffic were eating him alive. By mid-2024, he was burnt out, exhausted, desperate for a reset button. His studio apartment in Mont Kiara was costing him RM2,800 a month. Add another RM1,500 for food, RM500 for utilities, RM800 for his car payment, and suddenly his supposedly good salary felt like pocket change. August 2024, he books a one-way ticket to Istanbul with just his passport and his laptop. His Airbnb in Katakoi costs RM1,200 a month. He works from cafes overlooking the Bosphorus. Fresh simmet bread in hand. Ferry boats humming below. The call to prayer echoing at sunset. It's a world away from the grab queues and fluorescent office lights. But here's what surprised Amir most: the cost of living. A full Turkish breakfast with unlimited tea? RM12. A haircut at a local barber? RM15. Fresh produce from the weekly market? Half the price of Jaya Grocer. And here's the data to back it up. Turkish Ministry of Interior reported in 2025 that Malaysian nationals averaged 87-day stays, up 34% from 2023. People are catching on. 3 months later, Amir did a quick visa run to Greece. Spent 2 days in Athens. Flew back. Reset his 90 days. He's still there now. Total rent saved compared to KL? RM20,400. But here's what Amir learned the hard way, and this is crucial if you're considering Turkey long-term. The Turkish lira is volatile. What costs RM12 today might cost RM18 next month. You need to stay on top of exchange rates and keep your money in ringgit or dollars. Also, Turkey has this thing called residence permit bureaucracy. If you want to convert from tourist to resident, you'll need to prove you have health insurance, a local address registration, and at least $500 per month in your bank account. The process can take 3 to 6 months, and you might need to hire a translator because most government offices don't speak English. That's why Turkey's incredible for short-term stays, but long-term? The residency process is a bureaucratic nightmare. Which is why it's only number 7. Because the next country makes residency easier and cheaper. Number 6. South Korea. K-drama fans, listen up. This paradise offers a 90-day visa-free window, but here's the dark side. 41% of Malaysians overstay and get slapped with a 5-year entry ban. Meet City, 28. English teacher from Penang. She'd been obsessed with Korean culture since university. BTS. Crash landing on you. Korean fried chicken at 2 a.m. She'd saved RM15,000, quit her teaching job, and flew to Seoul with a 90-day visa-free entry. No plan. Just hope. Day 62. She's running out of money. Panicking. Then she finds a hagwon, a private language school, willing to sponsor her E2 teaching visa while she's still on tourist status. According to the Korea Immigration Service 2024 report, E2 visa approvals for Malaysians jumped 28%. Average processing time? 21 days. City remembers the moment vividly. She was sitting in a cafe in Hongdae. The approval email popped up on her phone. Cherry blossoms were falling outside the window. She cried right there. Relief. Joy. Disbelief. But let me tell you what City had to go through to get that approval, because this is the part nobody talks about. First, she needed an apostilled criminal background check from Malaysia. That alone took 3 weeks and cost Rm 400. Then she needed a health check from a Korean hospital, Rm 600. Then she had to get her university degree verified and apostilled, another Rm 502 weeks of waiting. The hagwon paid for most of it, but she was sweating bullets the entire time. Because here's the terrifying part. If any of those documents were rejected, or if her 90 days ran out before approval, she'd have to leave Korea and start the entire process from scratch outside the country. And here's what she didn't know at the time. One bureaucratic mistake, one missed document, and she would have been trapped in a 5-year ban. Overstay by even a single day in South Korea? You're banned for 5 years. Overstay by more than 90 days? 10-year ban. The Korea Immigration Service doesn't mess around. In 2024, they deported 1,847 foreigners for visa violations. 23% were from Southeast Asia. But City got lucky. She's been in Seoul for 18 months now. She earns 2.8 million won a month. That's about Rm 500. Her studio in Gangnam costs 900,000 won. Rm 400. Expensive, yes, but she's living the dream. The loophole that saved her? That's coming at number 3. Number 5. Morocco. This North African gem hands Malaysians 90 visa-free days, and it's cheaper than Thailand. Let me break it down for you. Accommodation in Marrakesh? 43% cheaper than Bangkok. Food? 37% less. Co-working spaces? 52% cheaper. Morocco is a digital nomad's paradise, and almost nobody's talking about it. Meet Daniel. 41 years old. Divorced father. Remote video editor. He needed an escape that didn't destroy his savings. After his divorce, Daniel was paying Rm 500 a month in alimony and child support. His apartment in Damansara was Rm 200. He was working 60-hour weeks just to stay afloat. Something had to give. January 2025, he lands in Marrakesh. He books a Riyadh guesthouse for Rm 900 a month. Rooftop terrace. Views of the Atlas Mountains. Mint tea at sunrise. The Wi-Fi. Rock solid. The Morocco Tourism Board reported in 2024 that Malaysian arrivals jumped 67% after the visa exemption was introduced in June 2023. It's the new Bali, but without the crowds. Danielle met a whole community there. Malaysians, Indonesians, Singaporeans, all rotating every 89 days to reset their visa-free stays. The trick? You fly to Spain. 3-hour flight. Rm 400 round trip. Grab some tapas. Return the next day. Rinse and repeat. But here's what Danielle wants you to know, the stuff the travel blogs don't tell you. Morocco is Muslim majority, but it's North African Islam, not Southeast Asian Islam. Alcohol is available in tourist areas. Women don't need to cover their hair. But you still need to dress modestly in local neighborhoods, especially during Ramadan. The language barrier is real. Arabic and French dominate. English, hit or miss. Google Translate became Danielle's best friend. And haggling is a sport. You'll pay tourist prices unless you learn to negotiate. Daniel got scammed twice before he figured it out. Paid Rm 150 for a rug worth Rm 40. But the cost savings? Unbeatable. Daniel's monthly expenses in Marrakesh: Rm 900 rent, Rm 600 food, Rm 200 utilities, Rm 150 co-working space. Total, Rm 1, 850. He was spending Rm 5, 700 in KL. He saved Rm 46,000 in his first year. Paid off his credit card debt. Started investing again. But Morocco's number 5 for a reason. It lacks one critical thing the top 3 destinations have. Healthcare. Morocco's public healthcare system is underfunded. Private hospitals are decent but expensive without insurance. Daniel had a dental emergency. Cost him Rm 1, 200 out of pocket. If you're young and healthy, Morocco's paradise. But if you have chronic conditions or need reliable medical care, the top 3 countries blow Morocco out of the water. Stay with me. Number 4. Albania. Europe's best-kept secret just extended visa-free stays for Malaysians to 90 days within a 180-day period, and almost nobody knows about it. Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. Rent in Tirana costs Rm 100 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment in the city center. That's less than a studio in Subang Jaya. Meet Farah and Hadi. Couple in their 30s. Combined income of Rm 12,000. They were tired of the KL rat race. They wanted a European lifestyle without European prices. They'd tried Bali, too crowded. Tried Chiang Mai, too hot. Then Farah's friend mentioned Albania. March 2025, they arrive in Sarand, a coastal town on the Ionian Sea. Their apartment? €500 a month. That's Rm 400. With a balcony overlooking the beach. The Albanian Institute of Statistics reported in 2024 that Malaysian long-term visitors, those staying 60-plus days, increased by 89% year-over-year. Hadi works from a balcony where he can literally see Greece across the water. Farah spends weekends exploring Ottoman castles and UNESCO sites. Dinner for 2 at a seaside taverna? Rm 40. But let me tell you what Farah and Hadi discovered about Albania that completely changed their perspective on Europe. Albania is not in the European Union. It's a candidate country, but it's not there yet. Which means no free movement to other EU countries. You can visit neighboring EU nations like Greece for short stays, but you can't just move there freely. However, this also means Albania is dirt cheap. They use the Albanian lek, and the cost of living is absurdly low. Groceries for a week? Rm 150. Utilities including high-speed internet? Rm 180. A gym membership? Rm 50. A nice dinner with wine? Rm 80 for 2. Farah and Hadi's total monthly expenses. Rm 200. In KL, they were spending Rm 500. They've done 3 visa runs so far, just a 45-minute drive to Montenegro. They've been living in Albania for 14 months now. But here's the genius move Hadi made. He opened a freelance company in Albania. It cost €200 to register. Now he invoices his Malaysian clients through his Albanian company and pays just 5% flat tax on his income. Compare that to Malaysia's progressive tax system where he was paying 24% on his top earnings. He's saving Rm 18,000 a year in taxes alone. And Albania is safe. Safer than most people think. The crime rate in Tirana is lower than Athens or Rome. Farah walks alone at night with 0 issues. The only downsides? Limited international flight connections. You'll usually connect through Istanbul or Vienna. And while young Albanians speak English, older folks don't. Learn basic Albanian phrases or struggle. But here's the kicker. Albania isn't even in the top 3. Because the next country offers something Albania can't: a clear path to residency and access to world-class healthcare. Number 3. Georgia. This Caucasus nation gives Malaysians not 90 days, not 180 days, but 1 full year visa-free. According to the Georgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs 2024 guidelines, Malaysians can stay 365 days within any 365-day period. No extensions, no paperwork, just show up. Meet Karthik, 39. Corporate lawyer in KL. RM 18,000 a month salary. Anxiety meds. Insomnia. He hated his life. Karthik was the guy who had it all on paper. Fancy car. Condo in KLCC. But he was miserable. His therapist told him he was heading for a breakdown. His doctor warned him about high blood pressure at 39. July 2024. He requests a sabbatical. Denied. So he quits. Flies to Tbilisi with RM 50,000 in savings and a dream. Soviet-era architecture meets cobblestone streets. Wine that's older than Christianity. His apartment in the Vera district costs RM 1,800 a month. It has a balcony overlooking the Mtkwari River. Here's some science for you. A 2023 study in the International Journal of Migration Studies found that countries with 1-year visa-free policies see 3.2 times higher entrepreneurial activity among temporary residents. 8 months in, Karthik launched an online legal consulting firm for Malaysian expats. Monthly revenue? RM 9,000. Stress levels? Gone. But let me tell you what happened in between, because this is the transformation nobody talks about. Month 1, Karthik was lost. Didn't speak Georgian or Russian. Felt isolated. Almost booked a flight home. Month 2, he found an expat community at a co-working space called Terminal. Met other digital nomads. Started hiking in the Caucasus Mountains every weekend. Month 3, he stopped taking anxiety meds. His blood pressure normalized. He was sleeping 8 hours a night for the first time in a decade. Month 4, he started learning Georgian. Met a local woman named Tamara at a wine bar. She became his girlfriend. Month 6, he launched his consulting business. First client, a Malaysian family moving to Georgia. Month 8, revenue hit RM 9,000. He realized he didn't need to go back. And if he wants to stay longer, Georgia offers Freelancer residency visas. No minimum income requirement. Processing time? 30 days. Here's how it works. You prove you're a freelancer or entrepreneur. Show bank statements. Get a Georgian tax ID number. Boom. 1-year residence permit. Renewable indefinitely. Georgia also has territorial taxation. You only pay tax on income earned in Georgia. Karthik's Malaysian clients? 0 Georgian tax. He pays 1% tax on his Georgian revenue under their small business program. And health care? Georgia has excellent private clinics. A doctor's visit costs RM 60. Dental cleaning? RM 80. Full blood panel? RM 120. The food is incredible. Khachapuri, cheese-filled bread, is basically the national dish. Kinkali, Georgian dumplings, are life-changing. And Georgian wine? Some of the oldest viticulture in the world. The only real downside? Georgians are warm but insular. Making local friends takes time. The expat community is small but tight-knit. But even Georgia's 365 days can't compete with what number 2 offers. A backdoor to European Union access and a social safety net that rivals Western Europe. Number 2. Serbia. Serbia lets Malaysians stay 90 days visa-free, but here's the secret immigration agents don't advertise. You can convert that to a temporary residence permit without leaving the country. Most nations force you to leave, apply abroad, wait months. Not Serbia. You enter as a tourist. You apply for residency while you're inside Serbian borders. The Serbian Ministry of Interior updated regulations in 2025. Freelancers, retirees, and remote workers can now apply for a one-year temporary residence permit with proof of just RM4, 500 monthly income. Meet Lena, 45 years old, single mother, 2 teenagers, remote accountant. She wanted European standard education for her kids without European tuition fees. International schools in KL, RM40, 000 per year per child. In Belgrade, RM12, 000 per year. English taught. IB curriculum. September 2024, Lena enters Serbia visa-free. Enrolls her kids in school. On day 45, she applies for temporary residence. The process was surprisingly smooth. She needed proof of accommodation, proof of health insurance. She bought Serbian insurance for €400 per year. Proof of income, bank statements showing RM4, 500/month, and a clean criminal record. Total cost? About RM2, 500 including lawyer fees, translations, and government charges. Approval came on day 78. She cried in a cafe in Kalemegdan Park, watching her daughter feed swans along the Danube. Finally breathing. She's in year 2 now. On her second residence permit. Path to permanent residency? 5 years. And because Serbia's an EU candidate country, she gets access to neighboring EU nations for short stays. But here's what makes Serbia truly special. Something Lena discovered by accident. Serbia has free public health care for residents. Lena and her kids got Serbian health cards. Doctor visits? Free. Hospital stays? Free. Prescriptions? Heavily subsidized. Her son needed glasses. In KL, it would have cost RM 800. In Belgrade, RM 150. And the education quality is excellent. Her kids are learning Serbian, already conversational after 1 year. They're making local friends. Thriving in ways they never did in KL's pressure cooker international school system. Belgrade itself is vibrant. Rakija bars. River barges converted into clubs. Bohemian quarters with street art and jazz. It's got this raw, post-communist edge that somehow works. Monthly expenses for Lena's family of 3. RM2, 800 rent, 3-bedroom apartment in Vracar district. RM1, 200 food. RM600 utilities and internet. RM2, 400 school fees, both kids. RM500 entertainment. Total, RM7, 500. In KL, she was spending RM14, 000 minimum. But here's the catch, and this is important. Belgrade winters are brutal. November to March, temperatures drop to -5 degrees Celsius to -10 degrees Celsius. Snow. Ice. Gray skies. If you're from tropical Malaysia, you'll suffer. Invest in serious winter gear, quality winter coat, thermal layers, boots. Budget RM2, 000 for your first winter. Serbian bureaucracy can be frustrating. Government offices close at 2 p.m. Everything requires paperwork. You'll need patience and possibly a lawyer. And the language barrier is real. Older Serbs speak zero English. Young people do, but you'll struggle outside Belgrade and Novi Sad. But if you can handle cold winters and bureaucratic headaches, Serbia offers an unbeatable combination. European living, low cost, easy residency, free healthcare, and quality education. Which brings us to number 1. The ultimate destination. The country where you can literally live forever on a tourist visa. Number 1. Brazil. Brazil gives Malaysians 90 visa-free days, but here's what immigration agents don't tell you. You can live there forever on a perpetual tourist cycle. And it's 100% legal. The Brazilian Federal Police confirmed in 2024. Malaysians can exit to Argentina, Uruguay, or Paraguay, a 6 to 12-hour bus ride, return the same day, and reset their 90 days. No limit on how many times you can do this. According to Brazil's Ministry of Justice 2024 data, over 12,000 foreigners live in Brazil on perpetual tourist visas. 8% of them? Malaysian. Meet Raj. 52 years old. Early retiree. RM6,000 monthly pension. He wanted beach life. Low cost. Vibrant culture. He'd researched Thailand, too mainstream. Portugal, too expensive. Mexico, cartel fears. Then he discovered Florianopolis. November 2024, he lands in Floripa. Beachfront apartment. RM2, 200 a month. Daily living costs? 40% cheaper than Penang. He surfs at Praia Mole every morning. Speaks broken Portuguese with the locals at the Padaria, the neighborhood bakery. Every 88 days, he takes a RM600 bus ride to Buenos Aires. Grabs an empanada. Takes a selfie with the obelisco. Returns the next day. The 2025 Global Retirement Index ranked Brazil 9th for retiree satisfaction among visa-free accessible countries for Asians. 18 months in, Raj has built a community. He met a Brazilian partner. Learned to samba. He says he's the healthiest he's been in 20 years. Let me break down the math for you. RM2, 200 for rent. RM1, 500 for food. RM800 for utilities and miscellaneous. RM3, 600 for 4 visa runs per year. Total annual cost? RM96,000. That's RM8,000 a month for beach life in South America. But let me tell you what happened to Raj that convinced him Brazil was the one. Month 3, he joined a beach volleyball group. All locals. Zero English. He learned Portuguese through volleyball trash talk and post-game beers. Month 5. He started dating Isabella, a 48-year-old Brazilian divorcee. She taught him to cook feijoada and maquica. Month 7. His cholesterol dropped 40 points. His doctor in Malaysia couldn't believe it. Daily surfing, fresh fish, acai bowls, walking everywhere. His body transformed. Month 9. He did his first visa run. Took a luxury bus to Buenos Aires, like a flying hotel. Watched movies. Slept in a lie-flat seat. Explored BA for 24 hours. Returned. No stress. Month 12. Isabella moved in. Her family embraced him. Sunday feijoada at her sister's house became ritual. He's never felt more connected. Now here's the genius part about Brazil that nobody tells you. Brazil has a massive informal economy. Need a handyman? Plumber? Electrician? Maid? Everyone works off the books. Pay cash. No paper trail. Raj pays his maid RM180 a month for twice weekly cleaning. His handyman charges RM80 for repairs that would cost RM400 in KL. And the health care? Brazil has SUS, Sistema Único de Saúde, universal public health care. Even tourists can use emergency services for free. Raj had a surfing accident, dislocated shoulder. Emergency room visit? Free. Follow-up physiotherapy? RM40 per session at a private clinic. Want private health insurance? Unimed, Brazil's best private insurer, costs RM600/month for comprehensive coverage. Compare that to RM1, 500 plus in Malaysia. The food scene is incredible. Churrascarias, Brazilian steakhouses, offer all-you-can-eat rodizio for RM60. Fresh seafood? Absurdly cheap. A whole grilled fish at a beach restaurant? RM35. And Brazilians are the warmest, most welcoming people Raj has ever met. They don't care that his Portuguese is terrible. They don't care that he's Malaysian. They care that he's trying, that he's respectful, that he smiles. But let me be real with you about the challenges. Brazil has crime. Florianopolis is relatively safe, but you need street smarts. Don't flash expensive jewelry. Don't walk alone in sketchy areas at night. Lock your doors. Be aware. The bureaucracy is insane. Want to open a bank account as a tourist? Nearly impossible. Raj uses Wise and Western Union for money transfers. The economy is volatile. The riel fluctuates wildly against the ringgit. Raj keeps most of his money in dollars and converts to reis monthly. And visa runs, while legal, are a hassle. You lose 2 to 3 days every 90 days. Budget RM 600-800 per run including bus, food, and one night in Buenos Aires. But here's why Brazil is number 1. It's the only country on this list where you can live indefinitely on a tourist visa with 0 residency requirements. No proving income. No background checks. No waiting periods. You want to test the waters? Come for 90 days. Love it. Do a visa run. Rinse and repeat forever. And if you eventually want residency? Brazil offers it after consecutive tourist entries. Many perpetual tourists convert to permanent residency after 4 to 5 years of consistent visa runs. It's not officially advertised, but Brazilian federal police have discretion, and they reward commitment. Raj is planning to apply for permanent residency next year. He's been there 18 months. He speaks Portuguese. He's in a committed relationship with a Brazilian. He's integrated. His lawyer says he's got a strong case. But here's what nobody tells you. 3 critical mistakes that get Malaysians deported or banned. Mistake number 1. Working locally without proper permits. Even digital nomad work can trigger issues if you're being paid by local companies. If you're working remotely for Malaysian or international clients, you're fine. But the moment you accept payment from a Brazilian company or start advertising services locally, you're violating your tourist visa. Brazilian federal police cracked down in 2024. They deported 340 foreigners for illegal work. Don't risk it. Mistake number 2. Overstaying by even 1 day. Countries like South Korea and Turkey impose 3 to 10-year entry bans. Set phone alarms. Mark your calendar. Know your exact entry date and exit date. Overstaying is the fastest way to destroy your visa-free privilege. In Turkey, overstaying by 1 to 30 days gets you banned for 6 months. 31 to 90 days? 1-year ban. Over 90 days? 5-year ban. In South Korea, overstay by 1 day and you're banned for 5 years. Over 90 days? 10-year ban. Don't gamble with this. Mistake number 3. Not having proof of onward travel and sufficient funds. Immigration officers can deny you entry even with visa-free access if you look like a migration risk. The 2024 International Air Transport Association reported that 12% of visa-free travelers were denied boarding due to missing onward tickets. Here's what you need: a return or onward ticket within your visa-free period. Proof of accommodation, hotel bookings or Airbnb confirmation. Proof of funds, bank statements showing at least RM 200-300 per day of your intended stay. Don't assume visa-free means automatic entry. Immigration officers have discretion. If you look broke, homeless, or sketchy, they can refuse you. Raj learned this the hard way on his first entry to Brazil. Immigration officer asked to see his return ticket. He didn't have one. Officer detained him for 2 hours, questioned him, almost sent him back to Malaysia. He bought a refundable ticket on his phone right there in the immigration office. Now he always books refundable return tickets. Costs nothing if you cancel within 24 hours. So here's my question for you. Would you take the leap? Would you quit your job to surf in Brazil for RM8,000 a month? Would you extend your life in Georgia for a full year? Would you move your family to Serbia for European education at a fraction of the cost? Or are you the person who'll rotate through all 7 countries, building a location-independent empire? Drop a number below, 1 to 7, for the country you'd choose first. And tell me why. I read every single comment. And if you've already done this, if you're living this life right now, expose your secrets below. Help the next Malaysian escape the 9 to 5 trap. Because here's the truth that nobody wants you to know. Your Malaysian passport is a golden ticket. It's one of the most powerful passports in Asia. But most Malaysians never use it. They stay trapped in KL, paying insane rent, sitting in traffic, wondering why they're always broke. Meanwhile, there are Malaysians living in Georgian wine country for RM1,800 a month. There are Malaysians surfing in Brazil every morning for less than the cost of a Bangsar condo. There are Malaysian families getting European education in Serbia for half the price of international schools in KL. The information is out there. The loopholes are legal. The countries are welcoming you with open arms. The only question is, will you take the leap? Because the truth is, your passport is more powerful than you think. You just needed someone to show you how to use it.